Welcome to San Luis Obispo, one of the prettiest and most desirable small towns in the nation, and the historic crown jewel of California's Central Coast. It's fitting that we'll begin and end our tour right here in front of the Carnegie Library, because while it was originally built as the town's first library, it's now the home of the History Center for San Luis Obispo County. The center owns more than 40,000 historical objects, filling more than 3,500 square feet in off-site storage. A rich and multicultural collection far too vast to be contained in this one building. Today's tour will take us past the old adobes, secret alleys, first hotels, saloons and markets, even an Art Deco theater, as well as the humble mission that started it all. But history is more than just looking at buildings and photographs. It's also about the smells and the sounds of the time. Imagine, if you will, the many languages spoken here when the town was first settled. British, German, French, Italian, Chinese, Japanese, and of course Spanish could be heard in the streets and fields, adding their voices to the original Chumash Native American inhabitants as those first settlers went about the business of building their lives and creating community. Chapter 1, Carnegie Library Building, 696 Monterey Street. Since libraries have always been an integral part of creating community, this building was an important addition to the town. Notice the sign over the doorway that says Free Library? Thanks to some concerned citizens, a library was formed on June 16, 1894, in the upper floor of the J.P. Andrews Building, another of the landmark buildings on our tour today. People from all over the city donated their books to increase what the library had to offer. However, you had to pay 50 cents for a one-year subscription for the privilege of borrowing books. Eventually, the city took over the management of the library and did away with subscriptions, so it became known as a free library. Over time, the library outgrew its original space, and in 1902, the library trustees decided they needed a new building. Nettie Sinsheimer, who we'll meet again shortly outside the city's longest-running general store, started a writing campaign to Andrew Carnegie to generate the needed funds. It worked. In 1905, turn-of-the-century philanthropist Andrew Carnegie provided a grant of $10,000 for construction so long as the city would continue to run a free library. 5 different architects submitted plans for the new building, and the library trustees chose the Richardsonian Romanesque design of William H. Weeks. The library was built with local materials like granite from Bishop's Peak, the most imposing of the 9 volcanic hills that preside over our town, locally made bricks, and yellow sandstone mined from a quarry just a few miles south of here. Joseph Mano, a local Italian immigrant who arrived here in 1881, handled the construction. And like many of the original immigrants who founded this town, the Mano Construction Company is still around today. In fact, Joe Mano's great-great-grandson Tom handled the retrofit of this building in 1995. And in 2005, he installed and donated the money for the new sign you see out on the lawn. In 1955, the library outgrew even this building and moved to another part of the city. One of the History Center's first curators was Louisiana Clayton Dart, who acquired the Wasna School bell, among many other important items. Today, the center rotates fascinating exhibits of early life in San Luis Obispo, and staff is constantly at work collecting, archiving, and preserving the rich historical legacy of our county. Buildings made from adobe are another historically important structure, and to our right is a fine example, the Murray Adobe at Mission Plaza. If you're facing the Carnegie History Center, please turn right and cross Broad Street. On your right, across the walkway and just past the public restrooms, is the Murray Adobe.